Alright, so before we get started here on the Miyuki Mile, I'd like to take a minute to tell you where my heart is on this topic. By the way, I'm your host, Miyuki Takara. Thank you for joining me. How's it? Now, back in 2005, I picked up cigarettes. And I ended up smoking for 3 years until I met somebody who gave me an ultimatum. The way she put it, by the way, very beautiful lady. The way she put it was, I either quit smoking or it's over. I have no idea what she was talking about. I have my suspicions. Though, in this topic, until I actually know what she's talking about, that's about all I'm going to say. That day, I quit smoking. Cold turkey. Now, I understand a lot of people will say, well, you were smoking for 3 years. For somebody like you, it's not that tough. Well, consider this. I'll bet you anything. I went from 3 cigarettes a day to a pack and a half a day faster than you did. I can tell you from first-hand experience, quitting isn't easy. Hell, for the better part of several months afterwards, I had to use her as basically a punching bag. Not literally. But if I was stressed out for any reason, I would end up going to her, and hell, I was stressed out almost every day afterwards, so it's not easy. It wasn't easy, and recently it's been even less easy because of recent events. I've wanted to hit the tobacco and alcohol pretty hard lately. The alcohol is, my former alcoholism is actually a different story. Yes, I'm an ex-alcoholic too. Surprise, surprise, I actually haven't done any illicit drugs of any kind. No marijuana, LSD, PCP, ecstasy, nothing. I've only smoked, and I've only done alcohol. Haven't touched either of them in quite a while. Going on 3 years for smoking, and it's been since December that I've actually had any sort of alcohol. December 1st to be exact. So it's not easy to quit. That's actually one reason I have such a big problem with recent legislation on cigarettes. You see, starting like now, the Surgeon General is actually starting to put some new warnings on a pack of cigarettes. By the way, this is legislation that was passed last year. Within 15 months, there are going to be more comments on the side of a pack of cigarettes than there are now. Right now, if you look at a pack of cigarettes, you'll see a Surgeon General's warning that says smoking causes cancer, smoking causes lung cancer, and may cause complications during pregnancy. Now, the problem I have with that statement is the first part. Smoking causes lung cancer. Okay, it's been proven that smoking enhances your risk for lung cancer, but it doesn't actually cause lung cancer. If it causes lung cancer, then even though I've been smoke-free for 3 years, I'd have lung cancer. I wouldn't be here today. So I do have a problem with that. I also have a problem with this with this legislation, but I'll get in on that in just a little bit. So they're proposing that this new warning goes on a pack of cigarettes, and there were 9 comments that were picked, and they will start making appearances on a pack of cigarettes between now and October 2012. Well, there's another thing that's going to be making its debut on a pack of cigarettes, and the whole thing with that is it's going to be the picture of a smoker's lungs and how full of tar they are. Now, I want to make one thing very clear. This is a very noble attempt on the side of government. They're trying to keep young people from smoking. They're trying to make current smokers quit smoking. But therein lies the problem. It's not gonna happen. People that have been smoking that are too weak to quit, yes, you with the cigarette, I'm calling you weak. Just remember, I was one of you. I can tell you it's all about willpower. Now, had I not met this lady, I'd still be smoking. I'll be the first to admit that. But the fact of the matter is, I took steps to actually quit smoking, and I'm glad I made the decision I did. And if you've seen what I've seen in the 3 years I was smoking, I'll bet you anything, you'd go from 3 cigarettes a day to a pack and a half a day about as fast as I did. Yeah, at my peak I was at a pack and a half. When I quit, I was at a pack a day. Funny part is, I didn't actually smoke at home. So, it's all about willpower. The problem is, those with low willpowers aren't going to quit smoking. As noble an attempt as this is by government and the Surgeon General, the fact of the matter is, it's a waste of tax dollars. You know, you hear government complaining about this economy, and, you know, that's a whole nother story. But a little bit of it does tie into this. You hear government complaining about the economy and how bad it is. Then they waste our tax dollars passing legislation to put pictures on a pack of cigarettes. To put new Surgeon General's warnings on a pack of cigarettes. What? Are you fucking nuts? So that's probably the biggest problem I have. Not the fact that the government is doing this, but the fact that it's wasting tax dollars. If people wanted to quit, they would. I wanted to quit. Once that lady told me to quit, I wanted to. So I did. Again, you know, 3 years, that's nothing compared to somebody that's been smoking for 20 years. Put down the cigarettes. That's all it takes. Just put down the cigarettes. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. That's all it takes. Throw your cigarettes away. You know, my pack was actually completely full when I threw it away. That's all it takes. It doesn't take legislation wasting our tax dollars to actually try and get people to quit smoking, because it's not going to work. What legislation needs to realize that a lot of these laws that they're passing, they're not working. This one's going to fail just as bad, if not worse. You know, I read somewhere that the amount of smokers from 1965 till now has actually been cut in half in terms of percentages, from 42 to about 19. Yet at the bottom of that same report, they say that 4,000 youths pick up their first cigarette and 1,000 become regular smokers per day. You can't honestly expect me to believe that 19% of the population are smokers. You can't expect me to believe that at all. Now, do I believe that less than half are smokers? Yes, but I also believe that there are more smokers now, and it's a higher percentage now than it's been in our nation's history. You know, especially nowadays. And it's only going to get worse. This legislation isn't going to help. That's why I have such a big problem with this. It's up to the individual to quit, not legislation to come out and say, we want you to quit smoking. Noble cause. The only way you're going to keep people from smoking is to make it illegal. You do that, then get ready for the drug war that's going to ensue afterwards. You're going to have a black market on this stuff. I mean, you do on marijuana. Marijuana's outlawed. Why not tobacco? Because tobacco is a multi-billion-dollar-a-year corporation. That's why. It's all about money. And government wants to show people that they're at least trying. I'll give them that. They're trying. But it's not going to work. It hasn't been working since since the Surgeon General warnings have been put on cigarettes in 1965. It's been almost 50 years. And they haven't accomplished a damn thing. Do they honestly think that they're going to change what hasn't been changed in 50 years? Especially with stress and anger at the peak that it is? American anger and frustration is at an all-time high because of recent events. Well, that is a little exaggeration. You know, there was World War II. But in my time, stress and frustration in America is at an all-time high. It's only a matter of time before that tension is cut and that anger boils over. The number one cause for people even starting smoking is stress. Because there are some things within cigarettes, as bad as it may sound. You know, you have nicotine, you have rat poison, you have arsenic. Yes, you have all that stuff, but you also have ginseng, which is a natural relaxant, which is why people pick up cigarettes and keep smoking and use stress as their reason behind it. Because tobacco, the buzz you get from tobacco actually helps relax you. That's the reason I started smoking. Now, how do I relieve my stress? I go onto YouTube. That's how I relieve my stress. I don't smoke anymore. But a lot of the people that smoke, I'll bet you anything, more than half the people you speak to that smoke, possibly even 75% of them, will say the reason they smoke is stress. A lot of them will say they tried quitting and quit for quite a while, but picked it up again because of stress. Bet you anything. I can tell you this, I ain't gonna pick it up again. I have something else to channel my anger. I have you guys. So yeah, I do have a big problem with this. And I hope government finally gets it through their thick skull that this crap isn't working. As noble as it might sound, it's just not working. By the way, for those of you that are wondering, sometimes all it takes is somebody telling you to quit smoking. And I can tell you this, what really helps is that the person that wants you to quit smoking doesn't smoke themselves. You have no idea how much of a godsend that was. No idea. Anyway, coming up, we're going to be listening to Do It Now by Beanland and Greame Norgate. This is a remix of Jago's theme from Killer Instinct, the Killer Cut CD. And coming up next time on the Miyuki Mile, I've got some splaining to do. Anyway, that's what's coming up next. You're listening to the Miyuki Mile.